Good evening. I'm Mutgren, and welcome to Dad's Old Shop. I have a pretty quick stream because I think I got lucky, sort of. I purchased a vintage plane. I have it here. I opened it to make sure that it wasn't like broken in transit, and it wasn't. So I do know that there is and it's in pretty good condition, which is weird for the price point that I paid. It's weird. When I think about it, it's not as weird. Considering it is not a popular type of plane. So this plane, but I like bubble wrap. You never know when you'll need it. It's called a molding plane. So a molding plane, its job is to either carve decorations into boards, or I guess that is sometimes it's on the face of the board, sometimes on the edge. This is a roundover. So what this does is this takes a piece. I don't have to forget where these are. You put this on the edge, like so, and you use it to round over into a little like bead there from the side. So it makes a round over sort of in this profile. Oh, because it has a particularly funny looking iron. So the iron digs in, and then kind of goes from there. So it helps cut in that detail. It ends up making a 3/8 inch round over. So I'm not going to do it on this right now. This game that passed, I was making the spice rack, and I was sanding in the roundovers on the edges, so that it looked nicer. And I was like, well, if I just started with this, it'd be better. I do like electric routers, but they make a lot of sawdust, and they are very quick to mess up a project because they're very powerful and very quick. So this is kind of the old way that people would do it. And you can get all sorts of, basically any finish you could get from a electric router, you could get from molding plane. So first thing you look for when you get one of these is just how is the bed. This is the part that runs on the ground/board there. A couple things. The piece of wood here, the inlay, you can tell it's likely a different type of wood. The inlay here looks to be in pretty good condition. There's a bit of a chip here, and that causes a raise, but that's not a huge deal. And yeah, not a huge deal there. Likely we'll have to sand that down. The other part is looking at make sure there's no cracks in the, well, first thing actually is make sure there's no cracks in the wells for the blade and the wedge to hold it in place. And you would see it here. There's no blowout here. There's no cracks or no blowout here. There's like a little bit of a scratch here. I'm just looking in the light. It doesn't look to be more than 1/8 of an inch deep, so not an issue. This looks like it didn't see a lot of use, or if it did see use, it was very light use, which kind of makes sense. It does roundovers. You might make like picture frames with it. Wow, that light on my side is too bright. Oh, that makes it brighter. There we go. So the second is just the flatness of the bed itself, and that's pretty good. There's a bit of a lip and raise back here. I'm trying to see if you can get it there. But it's not perfectly flat, but it's pretty close. But it is kind of weird. And I don't know if that's just somebody taking care of something because they don't want to use it. But it's weird that it feels like there's finish on the bottom of here, like a poly or something like that, or varnish. The whole thing feels like it has finish on it, which in itself isn't bad, and sometimes you can get that from regular patina. But it feels kind of heavy down here. What I might suspect, and I kind of suspect mostly because of this blade, is that there was some restoration work done on this by the seller. Just because there is like some rust and pitting, like if you look on here, let me try to get it. There we go. Like if you look in the middle there, fair amount of, there we go, fair amount of rust right there. A pretty significant pit, but that looks all worn away. If you had just found this, you would see it look more like the side of this, where you see there's a lot more rusty bits there, but it looks like it's been ground away, which is what I would have done anyway, most likely. They didn't go super deep to get rid of all the pits because it does still need enough reference surface, and that little bit of rust and pits actually aren't that big of a deal. You can also kind of feel that there's a little bit of a edge here. Not like a full bolt up here. You could definitely feel a burr. And over on this side, which tells me that this was done pretty recently, because if this was part of the original plane, that burr would have worn off. There is a crack in the wedge, which is here, and that is a-okay. I'm gonna end up opening that up, gluing it, squeezing it, and just using it like that. Also seen some hard use, some knocks and dings. I don't know if that's from what they used to set the plane or what, because how you would set this, and this is me learning as I go here, front and back. I believe this is the front here. No, this would definitely be the front. I'm so silly. Is you would pop this up here. So you put the tang in, the tail, put this up, up into the body of the plane. It comes out the top. You would take your wedge. I'm not going to fully seat it, but you take your wedge, you'd get it into a position where it holds it, and then you'd go across a piece. This would be a very thick cut from what I'm seeing here. There we go. Then you just tap it into place with something. And I wish I had something to. I probably do. We can have a little bit of fun. I don't, once again, do not anticipate the stream to be very long at all. All right, so say for instance, this is that piece of pine that we shellacked earlier, the last project. And also, I do have to learn how to use this. So, not a great surface for this, but you would just press it on there, and then it would go. And I feel where it's hitting that crack there. See where it's wearing away. And I'm just trying to see what it's catching. Let's do it onto this side. There we go. So it is enough extended so that it should be touching into it. And we're getting little scrapes. Little scrapes, but nothing big. So I'm going to advance it just a little bit. And just use this. Just tap it ever so slightly forward. And flip this around. It is weird with the orientation. Okay, a little bit more. Basically just overdo it and then back it off. Backing it off, you usually hit like the front of the plane to do. Yeah, like this is way too deep of a cut, I think. Oh, well, hold on. Okay, so we're running it up against the fence. So it has its own fencing. Like this part here is the fence. So it's supposed to ride up against there. And there we go. And I got a flattish piece. Once again, not trying to make this look good, just trying to practice. Okay, got some cuts. So obviously that blade needs to be sharpened and needs some work on that wedge to make sure it stays, but you can see through that streak there that's where it would cut, and it would make it rounded over, because as you would go, like there's that tooth that's starting. Oh, that's also why. Okay. I had it misaligned. So this blade is supposed to be in line with this here, with the runner there. And it's not quite in line with the runner. Oh, give me 1 second. Sorry, my wife just wanted to ask me something. All right, cool. So it needs to be in line with that. And I now need to figure out whether it's an issue with the wedge, with the wedge with the blade, or with the body, or the inlay. So like if I throw this here, or could I put the wedge in backwards? Okay, no, I might have just put something like the wedge in backwards. Yeah, that's lined up. I put the wedge in backwards. Silly me. So that looks a lot better now. Okay, let's give that one more try here. Oh, that is way too deep of a cut. So, I'll back it off. I don't know, I think let's put it forward. I always forget which is the back or the forward to advance it. I forget. Okay. Well, we know. Oh, see, it's digging in now, so that's better. The alignment was just me. That was me. So we still have this part here that's gonna run down, and it's not too far off. It's pretty close to flat, and on the inside edge of it, it looks pretty good as well. Eventually, it's gonna make what looks like that. Because let me just move back the wedge here. As you advance it, I'm trying to get an angle of this going down the line here. As you advance it, the blade shows out in the profile that it is. Eventually, we'll cut that. Okay, and I did see a little bit of stuff here. Like towards the top here. The glue for this is failing, for this inlay. These inlays were replaceable. I mean, they always are. But I don't want to replace that. I'm not that skilled enough yet. But overall, it's in great shape. Not really much restoration work I need to do. Just need to fix the wedge and regrind this blade. Yeah, that's not sharp at all. And this has seen some wild sharpening because it's like rounded at the top. So that'll just be a bit of a process. Not too bad. But I just wanted to run over, just unboxing a little bit about it. This is an Ohio Tool Company plane. I don't think there's any markings on the blade themselves. Molding planes are missing markings compared to regular bench planes. Yeah, I don't see any markings at this point. And if this was ground down, they might have been grinded away. I believe this is the original blade, but there's no reason not to. But yeah, the Ohio Tool Company made tools up until 1920, and they went bankrupt. And they were making wood body planes like this at least until 1910. So this plane is at least 100 years old, if not older. They started with wood body planes. So this is one of the older planes I have, and I'm excited to get it working and cut some roundovers. Well, I want to say thank you. Told it was going to be a short one. I just wanted to kind of go over what you get with a new plane. Well, new vintage plane. I've been Mutgren from Dad's Old Shop, and thank you for joining me.